Everyone, Vacha here from Recording Studio 9, and thanks for joining me again today. And today I'll be talking and interviewing Brad, who owns Brad's Drumming. He's going to show us around all of his equipment and maybe some drumming as well. Well, with me today, guys, I have Brad from Brad's Drumming. And as I mentioned, he is located in Dee Why, the beautiful northern beaches that we have here. And I'll be talking to him and asking a few questions so we get to know him. Brad, can you tell us a little bit more about your background? What took you into drumming?
Well, let me see. The earliest memory I can recall is my father had a friend who was a musician. Mm-hmm. And he brought me over a set of sticks because he knew that I was pretty keen on the drums. I'd previously done piano lessons a long time before that, but that's...
It's funny how everybody starts with piano.
I know. I know. But it wasn't cool, and I wasn't practicing, and Mum was getting annoyed with that kind of thing. So, cut to the long chase. He bought me the set of sticks, and my dad bought me... he actually made me my first practice pad. So it was like a piece of plywood, and he put some rubber. It might have been a cutout tire or something like that, I can't remember. And I would sit at the kitchen table and just beat on that. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. Cut a few years later, I went to live with my mum, and she bought me a kit. She got enough money up to buy me a drum kit.
How did you convince her?
She just knew I was interested. I was keen. Well, doing
this all the time. Every parent's nightmare is drums in the house.
You know, pots and pans?
Yeah.
Yep, that was me. Yep, all ding, 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 all this, and she's like, okay, I've got to get this kid a drum kit, So she bought me this kit, and it was like one tom-tom, a kick drum, and a snare drum, and a pair of hi-hats. Mm-hmm. And it was that old, beautiful blue oyster wrap. Yep, I think it was called a Star Kit or something like that. Yeah. And I gave that thing hell. I used to have the neighbours bashing on the windows and flying into my room and everything. And I just turned around and just shut the curtains and keep going. And then a few years later, I ended up going to high school, obviously, and then got a bigger kit and got some lessons. My mum found a teacher. His name was Matt. So Matt showed me how to read music, and we just played along to rock beats, and I remember playing along to a lot of Eagles records. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't really like the Eagles anymore. Don Henley, good drummer. Did that, and I got this. Got my next drum kit and just bashed away in my garage. No one had to tell me how to practice or show me how to practice or anything. I just went ahead and did it. Got into a band at school, probably year 11 or 12, and we were called Grandma's Basement. Because we used to jam in the guitarist's grandma's place. He lived with his grandparents.
Perfect name for it.
Perfect name, but we changed our name to the Atomic Dustbusters. I don't know why we did that. And my first gig with them was in the Mooloolaba Hotel, and we played to about 10 people. Because we really sucked. And we got kicked out of there really quickly. And then the rest is history, as they say. I practiced every day. I had an instructor at the school for a little while, Josh, who helped run the classes as well. He was my drumming instructor, but we needed to get an instructor outside of that. So I found an instructor who could help me do all this catch-up, because I hadn't really gotten good lessons. I didn't know even how to read music very well. My rudiments were non-existent. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know much about different styles of music except for anything heavy metal, because that was pretty much my thing. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got a certain style of music they listen to and they grow up.
Yeah. My father was very disgusted that I liked that kind of music because he often said to me, if you want to be a good drummer, son, listen to Gene Krupa and become a jazz drummer. And I thought that was just like, old people's music. He'd walk into my room, there's Iron Maiden, wall to wall, and maybe a few Metallica ones. And so I went and learnt music and how it all works. And I got an instructor in this room. So his name was Chris Bryan. I don't know if you've heard of
in this very room.
In this very room, yes.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in this room since 2000. So he taught me a lot of Latin music, taught me how to not hit hard, how to read music, all my rudiments. So I'm like a magazine around here, and that had some ads in it, and for musicians wanted. So I put my name in there, and while I was getting lessons from Chris and stuff like that, and I ended up meeting up with a guitarist and a bass player, and we got a little band going, and we did some jam nights at the other end of the city, and so I sort of did that and got myself learning how it all works out.
Yeah, I guess it's always important to have that live on stage experience.
Yes, that's right.
You can study music as much as you like.
That's right.
You can be all the music theory and practice, but if you don't get the experience of live on stage, it's not complete.
Yeah, it's not complete. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you want to get dropped in the deep end, and I remember going in, we had the script in front of us. We'd learned all our parts. We'd done rehearsal for 6 months, and till midnight every couple of nights a week, plus all the other stuff we had to do. And I remember sitting down behind the kit, and the conductor, who was our teacher as well, and he tapped on the top of the music stand, and my legs just went to jelly, like complete jelly. I was fine until I got in there, and I could see everyone looking at me. I could see a few people sitting out, and there's all these really important people in the front row. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, and bang, we're off. So by the time the fourth night had come around, our last night, we did 2 matinees and two night performances. I was absolutely fine. I was flying. But
from experience, even after so many years that I was in stage previously, performing on stage, it takes still at least a couple minutes for the stage fright and butterflies to go away, and then you'll be fine.
Even the big guys, I watch interviews with all these professional musicians, and they still they get nervous.
Yeah. The first 2 minutes being on stage, doesn't matter who.
That's right.
There could be a worldwide famous artist on stage giving the concert. First 2 minutes. Yeah. And after that it'll be
after that, that's right. Yeah, it's all good. Well, after I did my stint with Chris, he moved to Hong Kong, and I went and studied with Tubby Wadsworth at the Camperdown Academy, and he really showed me funk and jazz, and really showed me how to teach and technique and all my rudiments, and got it all straightened out. And so I have a big debt to him and what he showed me as well. Yeah. And he's become a good friend now. I have never really sort of played with a jazz band as such. I would love to have that opportunity, but that's one of the styles that I do teach at kids, because the schools do a lot of jazz tunes. So,
Brett, can you tell us about some of your drum work?
Yeah, no worries. Okay, well, up the top there's just some drummers I like, and there's Nico McBrain there, the man that started the ball rolling for me. He's the inspiration for me to wanting to play drums. I love to meet him. And then Dave Grohl, Cindy Blackman, Mike Mangini, Gavin Harrison, Chad Smith is another big influence of mine. He plays for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've actually got one of his old snare drums. It's got it's signed snare drum. Wow. And then there's Simon Phillips. This is Grant Collins. That's this guy here. Yep. I got to see Grant. Was the first drum clinic I ever went to. Grant came out with I got him to see him play on that kit, and all these pedals and these multi rhythms, and just blew me apart. And he's my other inspirations is to do what he does. You can see all these pedals here he's got. It's just tells stories on drums. He's a Brisbane drummer. Crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Jimmy DeGrasso, I got a lesson with him. He was one of Megadeth's drummers. So then I went to his show. And this is we were lucky enough to see Powderfinger's last concert before they split up. So, and that's Jet's drummer. So Jet are amazing. He's a great rock drummer. I don't actually really know his name, but he's awesome. Bono, front row view 2 again. So this is a very special photo. This one, that's the late John Blackwell. I can't remember what this guy's name. He supported him. John Blackwell played for Prince.
This is your drumming room.
Here it is. Yeah.
Here's the drumming room.
Yeah.
So I can see you've got several drums here already, and a few other instruments, percussion instruments here. So let's start. You've got an electronic drum.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a Roland V drum.
Yeah, that's a Roland TD11. It's an older model, but that's where I sit quite a lot. But also the smaller kids sit on that.
Yeah. So that's the
so
quiet
the
one.
ones. Yeah, it's the quiet one. Yeah, yeah. It's the one, that's the one with all the volume control. So it's a good kit. It's does the job. So if if you give it a bit of a hit, it's do right down or turn up. So it's a good little kit. So the kids sit on that, and I sit on that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got what I call the glow kit.
Glow kit.
So I whack some lights in that, and
That should interest a lot of the younger kids.
yeah, they love it. Yeah, they comes in. The lights are turned off, so I turn the lights on, and they go, oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So they get to play on that quite a lot too,
Yeah.
and the bigger kids too.
Yeah.
So and then over here I've got some cajons, so I give cajon lessons as well.
Yep.
So the kids really, the younger kids, they really love the cajons. They love playing with their hands and learning how to do that, and it's really exciting stuff. So I really enjoy actually playing something so simple.
Yeah.
And it gives.
I like the sounds of them.
Yeah, they're all different sounds and different timbres, and the kids really love that. So and then
you've got
here's my personal rig.
personal rig.
Yes, so this is the one I play on myself. I don't let anyone else on that really, except for me.
Okay.
So just to go through that.
6 pedals.
Yes, I have.
You got,
I have 6 pedals.
well, you've got only 2 feet.
I only have 2 feet. That's
How
right.
do you
Yeah.
play 6 pedals with 2 feet? You can tell I'm a drummer, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Well, when you play keyboards, you've got to use your feet, haven't you?
Yeah. Only one.
Only one. Yeah. Well, to give you an idea of what's in there. Obviously, I was talking about Graham Collins before about how he does the multi-pedal. Well, Chris, my old teacher, used to do that as well.
Yeah.
So a lot more pedals than that. But from left to right, that's just a little jam block.
Yep.
That's your hi-hats.
Yep.
Left kick pedal. Right kick pedal.
Yep.
That's over here. That's what I call storm hat. So that's like a remote hat.
Oh, wow.
It's got a cable.
Yeah.
So we call that a remote hi-hat. That's pretty cool. That's kind of industrial sound. And under there, if you can see, I've got just another
Cowbell.
regular old LP cowbell.
Yeah.
And then, I've got my TRX cymbals, who I'm very fortunate to be with. They are amazing cymbals. They come out of Istanbul. They're handcrafted, handmade cymbals. I buy them through Inferno Music from Tim and Motorbelt. So if you want some great cymbals and a great guy to deal with, he's the man. So I've got all those. There's a few good noisemakers there. This is a stack here. That's 2 cymbals put together. And then I've got the 2 timbales there, and then the snare 8 by 7, 10 by 8, and then 14 by 14. And then like I said, you can have too much cowbell.
Yeah.
Got that there. So that just allows me to be creative and.
This is where you are actually practicing yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Learning new things.
Yeah.
To be able to teach.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, and then I can show the kids, that eventually, and I get them to watch me do things on this kit sometimes, just to give them an idea of what's going on and all that kind of stuff. When you get to a certain level.
Then you've got the congas here.
Yep.
Djembes.
Yep.
And
that's the mini djembe, and then I've got the
that's not a mini
big one there.
djembe.
Yeah, that's classified as a djembe.
Who classified this as a djembe?
I don't know. You'll have to go.
This is Derbaki. This is Arabic.
Oh,
Middle
okay.
Eastern.
Cool.
This is Lebanese or Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, any of those countries.
Oh, okay.
Greek.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, all of those countries use this.
You never too. See, I just learned
Yeah.
something then, folks. I did not know that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
I'll have to tell. Okay.
It's got a couple of names because of different countries in there.
Yeah.
See, I'm teaching
He's
you
teaching drums.
And the other called Derbaki.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or Darbuki, which means hitting
Oh,
in
okay.
Arabic, and that's what this is.
So it's pronounced back here, is it?
Darbuki.
Dalbuki.
Dalbaki.
Dalbaki. Okay. I'll have to try and remember that.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll pass on that information.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I found it in the shop over the road, along with all this other stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, that's more African.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of an African conga kind of thing. So congas come under one banner as congas.
Yeah.
But they've all got individual names.
Yes.
So that's a tumba. That's a conga, and that one, because it's so high pitched, even though it's the same size as that, you would probably call it a kinto, because it's it's a high pitched. The kintos are usually smaller drums, and there is another one that you can get that is bigger than that as well. Really, I'm not sure what its name is.
Djembe.
And then there's the djembes.
The congos, and let me guess.
Brazilian hand drum, yeah.
Brazilian hand drum.
Oh, well, that's what I got told. That's what they call it. I actually picked it up today.
Oh.
Yes, I got that today. And along with this handmade drum, I don't know what its name is. It's about, the lady said it's about 40 to 50 years old and one piece of wood. So it's got a kind of a deep tone to it.
Yeah, it's sort of like tambourine.
Yeah, tambourine with the skin on it, but I thought it was pretty cool. My kids love that kind of stuff. They really get into that. And then I got the bongos and some stuff there, and then
cool.
In the corner here is where we do the rudiment practice. So learning technique and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Very inspirational room. Lots of drum.
Yeah. Well.
Drum things.
Yeah. Well, I've got Terry Bosio up there. Terry is one of my main inspirations as well. Terry Bosio used to play for Frank Zappa. So he owns one of the biggest drum kits in the world, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. And you've got a few others up there. So yeah.
Okay, so you're going to give us some roll?
Yeah, I'll give you a demo if you want.
Demo? Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So we'll get Brett all set up, and then he can give us some roll and show us his technique.
Something like that.
All right, Brett, thank you so much for showing us around your
Pleasure.
Brett's drumming school.
Yeah.
Where youngest 4 to
104, 180, 230, whatever you want. Yeah. I'll teach
as long
anyone.
as you can move your arms and want to drum.
That's right.
Brett can actually show you and teach you all the techniques and the rhythms, as well as notation, and all of that at Brett's drumming. So thank you so much for having us around and showing us around, and really, really interesting.
Thank you for having me. It's a
You're
pleasure.
most welcome.
No worries.